It was a great day today. Our first full practice, we went for about 3 hours and a little bit over 3, and just was pleased. We can always continue to get in better shape, but I thought our effort was there. Our freshmen looked really well. They're blending in with our seniors, and it was a great first day for us.
This was your first practice fully in charge. Were you? I mean, were you nervous going into that? Did you have any different feeling about going into it?
No, Dan. I was fortunate enough that Pat let me do what I did today in the past, so it was just kind of another day for me to run practice. So it was different in the sense of we only have 2 seniors and that type of thing. We had to do a lot more teaching than we normally have had to do, but no different.
What do you hope to establish? I mean, in these early practices, what do you feel is the most important things to establish with these kids?
I think our tempo, us getting in shape. We're in shape. We're not in basketball shape. So I think us learning very quickly, but we're going slow so they can learn. But our tempo, we have to have an up tempo, and we're athletic, and we got to make sure as coaches we use it.
You talked about all the newcomers here. How much are you going to have to start playing these newcomers right off the bat with the way your roster's?
Well, I think the style we're playing, we want to run. We want to play full court defense. We want to push the tempo. So I see all of our freshmen and incoming players to get a lot of playing time.
Holly, you only had an hour previously. You got them 2.5 today. How do they hold up? You do have a young team. How do they hold up in a long practice?
I thought they didn't give in to fatigue. I thought they fought through times when they got a little tired and a little winded. They're picking up things. It was primarily a defensive practice, and we did a little bit up and down, but very pleased with our effort, our energy, and we really have a really good camaraderie about us, a really good close-knit feel right now, and I love that. I haven't felt that in a long time, and I think it's well needed for this basketball team.
And we're all 11 good to go. Did you have all 11 on the floor? I know you can't discuss who you're recruiting, but looking at your Twitter, you've been all over the country. Are you tired? It looks like you just flew in this morning.
I did. We did, and we put in a lot of miles in recruiting the last 3 weeks, and hopefully it'll pay off. All of us have been gone, and so we hope it pays off. I'm ready to get some sleep.
Any freshmen stand out today, or do they all look good? Any in particular?
I think, Marie, they all look good in their own particular way. I think we've got some defensive stoppers. I was very pleased with Jasmine Jones and her effort on defense, and Jasmine Phillips. Bashar, her just how physical she is, and Andrea, the ability to lead a basketball team. And Nia's presence inside, it's something that we needed, and I think she showed a lot of that today.
Holly, you talked a lot about defense and rebounding, and almost wanting to re-emphasize that. I mean, how will that factor into how you run these practices then?
Well, we hit on every one of those. That was our main. We hit on the defensive end, we hit on the rebounding, and then we pushed the basketball. Those are our 3 things we focused on today, and that will be every day. We didn't get to our offense. Now, our half-court offense may suffer early and may struggle a little bit, but we want to get them comfortable with getting the ball and going and keeping a fast tempo, and that's what we tried to establish today.
What's the reason for trying to go for this more up-tempo pace?
Well, we got athletes, and I think we take advantage of our athleticism, our quickness, our physicalness. We're strong. We have a lot of people that can handle the ball full court. In fact, all of us can. So probably Izzy's the only one that I would be a little skeptical on her going coast to coast, but she has the ability to do that. So that's why we're just athletic and want to take it. Well, she can at times, but when she turns it over, then that's when I'm going to tell her she can't do it. But we've been working on it, and we've been allowing them to dribble up the floor, and for the most part, I've been pleased.
Does that also speak to the fact that as this team is constituted right now, you don't have a lot of experienced, established scorers either? I mean, is this something that play to your athletic strengths, but also realize that maybe if we just kind of set up in a half court, we don't have necessarily that established.
Well, we don't. We have Megan, who has experience in Tabor, who've gotten some really quality time on the offensive end, and Massengale. So I just think it's to our benefit to run up and down the floor. I tell you, I've watched. You can really tell if you watch practice how much time and effort Sierra Burdick has put into her game. This summer she totally dedicated. I mean, she's always been dedicated, but the hours she put in. And if one practice is any indication, I was so pleased with her, and just saw a big change in her, just her ability to get up and down the floor and play on the defensive end, and she's worked real hard at that, so I'm proud of her for that aspect.
It didn't feel that different, though, this being your first full scale practice with you.
It is. I mean, of course it is. It is, but it's always great that Pat's still here, and we still conversed on the sideline. So yeah, it was a different feel because it's a different staff, and I'm letting them kind of get in and blend in, and I want them to coach just as Pat allowed me to coach. So from that aspect, yeah, it is a little different.
How is that kind of cohesion going with the new staff?
It's great. I couldn't be more pleased. They've been on the road working in their knowledge of the game, and when I knew it, but when I get them out here on the court and hear what they're saying and how they're teaching, it's incredible. I'm very fortunate, and these young ladies are fortunate to have 3 great assistant coaches.
How often do you expect to see Pat here in practice? Or how?
She's going to be here every day, and she was here the other day at 6:15 in the morning, so I struggled to get here, and she was here before me, so that's pretty dedicated. So I anticipate she's going to be here every practice.
The program's received some national attention with the lawsuit and everything. How have you dealt with that as the coach?
I'm responsible for this team, so I haven't even addressed it. It's for the courts and outside the basketball court to decide. So, been focusing on recruiting and focusing on this team.